only dealing with tire wear, now you're dealing with draft, going into corners with, more wear than normal, with faster speeds than normal. I mean, yeah, they're used to it, but all it takes is just a little bit.
Yep. Quick shout out to Rob. Thank you, Rob, for the $2 dono. We appreciate that. It looks like all the drivers are on track. We are ready to get going with split one.
Do this. Thank you, Rob.
Jorge here on pole. We'll follow him, see what kind of action unfolds as we go flying into turn one. The lights are out. Away they go. You can see them all single file and back. We're probably going to see a lot of that single file here for the first half lap or so. Here's they dive into turn one, trying to eat up all the curb they can. But still keep it on the track. Got to make sure that rear end doesn't wiggle around. Jorge pulling a little bit of a gap on Wid.
Jorge's on softs.
Jorge is on soft tires. We'll have to check through the tire situation as we come around. Wid is on mediums. Looks like we got Shred on mediums as well. So Jorge could try to pull a gap. Good. Another medium runner in Mullet. So it looks like most of the field is running on mediums. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. I mean, Jorge's going to have to look at, trying to get away in the corners right now, being on the superior tire. But he's not going to have anybody to work with then if he gets away. All these other guys could start catching up. Hopefully that doesn't end up being a strategy issue.
Well, it's also too, he doesn't want to push too hard and rip those softs up premature to where he's planning on going in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have to hit a lap earlier or something.
Rick Shear got a nice overtake on Rowdy. They were teaming up. Did the old push him down the straight and then pass him in the corner.
Shake and bake.
Here at the back, we got a nice tight battle going on. Looks like everybody's keeping it nice and clean. Nobody's lost it here on the first lap. Knock on wood.
Yeah, right. It does. It looks like Jorge was the only one on softs. Everybody's running those mediums.
Yep. And as we can see, he did pull a 2-second gap. We'll see if he can hold that as we get down the long front stretch here.
And this isn't a new strat we've seen from Jorge. He did this a little bit ago too, in one of the other rounds. So.
Yeah, we've seen him do this quite a bit, where he just goes into full go-hard mode and gets so far ahead of everybody that they just can't catch up, even when they do start to get the advantage. We'll see if it plays out that way here. Pull it up into P4. Rider 15 right behind him. We got a replay here. Let's see what happens. Rider 15 coming around.
Oh.
Oh, looks like everybody kept it clean.
It is such a cool part of the section to watch, though, as they come up and over through those S's.
Yeah, it's not only S's, but you've got, that vertical.
Yeah.
That vertical change, that altitude change can certainly unsettle the car if you're not used to it.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little slick coming through there, especially on the mediums.
Yeah.
We see everybody using the draft in the long straight. The Truth Serum looks like he might have been left out to dry by Rider 51 and KP Wilcox, but
he's got the inside. He might hang on to it.
Here we're coming up to that hill. As you crest the hill right here, you got to watch out in the braking zone. You don't lose the car. Everybody kept control of it. It's really hard when you're side by side there. Always interesting as people come around. I'm going to watch this again.
I thought Ryder was going to stay next to him there. I'm not sure if he lifted to give him the space or not.
Yeah, they were side by side. Yeah, it looked exactly like he backed off.
Lift.
In fact, he had to back off to let KP wide too.
Yep.
So he lost 2 spots. I think trying to keep it clean.
I think KP just kind of shoved his way in there.
But some smart racing. That's what we want to see, is some good smart racing strategy. Jorge now with really the 4-second gap.
Yeah, he's like 2
really
seconds
only one
lap.
good line. There's really only one good line around this track. There really isn't a lot of points where you can stay side by side. So if you want to stay competitive with the leaders, you really, if you get them in the draft, that's one thing. But trying to battle through these corners, it's really just going to slow the field up and let everybody else pull away.
That is true.
You got
But
shredded.
again,
Got by Wid somewhere. Take over that.
oh
P2
yeah,
spot.
Wid was in second. You're right. Looks like Shred had a really good exit coming out of that corner, although he may have tapped the wall.
Just a little scrapage.
Yeah, Wid's closing in on him. We'll see if he works with him. If he's going to pass him, he may have enough overspeed by the time we get to the braking zone. Let's see what happens here. As he pulls right up behind Shred. Here comes the braking zone now. They both whoa it down. No contact. Side by side. Wid gets the pass done. Well done. But Shred tapped the wall there. Now he's got Mullet all over the back of him. There's no rest for the weary at this track. KP back in fifth, trying to keep up with this pack of 3 cars. Rider 51 hoping to recover from the loss of position on the last lap. Definitely not out of it. A lot of race left to be done here.
They got back by Truth Serum. That was one of the cars that passed him with KP.
Yep. That he did. The PHG Raider there is up to P9. I believe he started in P12, so he's up 3 spots so far.
Yeah,
Wonderful Jack and Coke livery.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I ran some practice with the Raider, and he was going by me at some points like I was standing still.
Yeah.
Well, like Hot Ballistics picked up the pen there.
Yeah.
Half second. Let's see if we can see where that was as we go to that high speed
Probably
turn one.
tight.
That one was good.
Oh no, it must have caught him on that first one. It looked good. I agree, but
yeah, it looked good.
PD did not agree. And that's the thing with the penalty zone being right at the beginning of the front stretch. It is quite costly, especially when you have this tight racing.
Yeah, you're
going
going
half
down
second pen, you might lose
least
2-3 spots.
Yeah,
exactly.
at least 2 spots.
Wid back up to P2.
Jorge already 7 seconds ahead. I don't know if that, I don't know if that 7 seconds though is really going to make that big of a deal once these guys come in to get off these mediums and go on the softs, and then Jorge's got to slow down on it. Depends how much practice Jorge's put in on those mediums to stay fifth or ahead of the field.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's certainly a strategy to question, but it is Jorge. He has done this strategy before to perfection. So only time will tell, as our good buddy Toon likes to say. Anything can and will happen. These guys, 2nd through 5th, are all bunched up pretty good.
Yeah, this is where I was calling. I knew that through 4, 2nd through 5th, maybe even 6th, I knew it was going to be where most of the hard racing was going to be because of where the qualifying times were sitting.
It does look like we had an unfortunate engine failure. Papa Oso dropped out. That is unfortunate to see. Quick shout out to Jay Collins. Jay Collins with a $10 donation to the channel. Thank you, Joe.
Joe.
I love this series and all the greatness it brings with it. Thank you, PHG and crew. Thank you, Joe.
So what do you think, Papa? What lap do you think these guys are going to come in and get off of those mediums?
I think you're going to see a couple try and do an undercut, maybe pit lap 6. But I think you're going to see the majority on lap 7.
You think that's soon, huh? You think they can squeeze 13 laps softs?
Hey, I can squeeze 13 laps. I know these guys can.
Well, this is true.
Okay.
Watch the replay here. Like we got Hovercraft making the pass on Cotton Ballistics.
There he is.
Coming down the long straight. It looks like he's just edging ahead of him as they get into the braking zone. Yeah, Cotton Ballistics has no choice but to just give up the corner.
Now, I don't know. I know regular draft is realistic when it comes to this, but do these cars get affected from side draft at all?
I believe
I've
that's
never
been
really tested
debated.
it.
I don't know that anybody. Yeah, I don't know that anybody's definitively proven whether it's a thing or not. I think there are people that swear it's there, and others who think it's not. I'm not sure.
I think
This
we
would be the
are.
kind of track to know about it, though.
I think we are lost another one to engine failure. We lost Rider 15.
Oh, he's one of our newcomers. That's unfortunate to see. We hope to see them back.
Yep.
They obviously have the speed. Let's see. The field is starting to stretch out a little bit. It looks like a lot of these cars still have drafting partners. PHG Rowdy
Oh,
with the
Rowdy.
1 second pen.
Come
This
on,
is where
Rowdy.
This is where teamwork is going to help.
Yes. Yeah, if you can find somebody to team up with and just kind of stay tucked with them, you as a pair
Right.
will go faster than the rest.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, we're talking fifth is now 12 going on 13 seconds behind Jorge. I
Yeah, it
would
looks like
want to
KP
just
is
try
kind
to
of
let them bunch together.
looks like KP might be on an island there. He had enough space both ahead and behind him that he doesn't have a drafting partner. But Jorge with a 9.7 second lead on Wid. Now he's backed off on that 2 seconds a lap he was getting. He's averaging more like a second and a half a lap.
Yeah, I
But
think he's
that's
trying to
still
conserve those buffs.
that's true. I mean, if he could get 14 laps out of the softs,
Oh, easy. He's definitely, with his tire wear, he's definitely got 8 more laps on that. On those.
Oh, yeah.
Wid really pushing it. Gets a bit of a tail wag coming out of the final corner, but did not hit the wall this time. Got a bit of a gap on Shred. Shred's still in the slipstream, but just barely. I think the general consensus is that the slipstream is about 1.3 seconds on these Group 3 cars.
Yeah, it's right in that range, 1.2, 1.3.
Looks like Wid is slowly pulling that gap a little bit more.
A little bit at a time. Just as long as he can stay focused on racing the track, not the car in front of him.
Yeah, and we know that the dirty air does something too. Going through all these S curves, like having somebody in front of you can not only cause your car to push a little bit, but it does eat up your tires a little more.
Yes.
But the only way you're going to stay in the draft for this long straight is to eat that. So
Maybe that's why a lot of these guys decided to stay on those mediums, see what kind of packs were going to form up. And once they had their packs picked out, and then they knew how many laps they were going to get on the softs, and just team up and go.
yeah, that's a good observation. Shout out to PHG Raider. He's up to P7. He's gained 5 spots in this lobby. Looking
He's
good.
definitely on a mission.
Yeah, still got a nice close battle here between Mr. Casual and Rick Shear. I believe Mr. Casual started close to the back. I don't remember what position he started in.
Yeah,
Was he 14?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was 13.
Well, he's also gained a number of spots. Now, Hovercraft back at 10th and Rowdy, I think they're two that have maybe lost a few. Trying to recover.
Rowdy did qualify 10th, so he is hanging tough.
Okay. Well, Mr. Casual backs off just a little bit as they get into that first corner. Nice and smooth through there.
And another strat these guys in the back might be playing is saving fuel. Limit their time when they come in for the pits. With the fuel rate being at 3 liters per second, I mean, it's low.
Yeah.
If you can save, half a gallon of gas fuel, you're talking 3 to 6 seconds right there.
Yeah, I definitely think the regular pump at Exxon fills up faster than this.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, again, the way these combos are set up, the job Shaggy's done, there's just so many different options on what to do and how to run your races.
It's not a one single variable. It's multiple variables.
Right.
And usually you don't find out about one or two of them until race day.
Well, and that's the fun part. You know, you've got all these different drivers, and they're skilled enough and smart enough that they certainly figure out some strategies that you may not have thought of. You know, and
Right,
whether it's
right.
something that's out of left field or just something that you need to be near the top of the heap to even be able to pull off. You know, that us mere mortals may not even know about.
I'm
That's always
surprised we
fun to
haven't
see.
seen any pits yet.
Yeah, we're finishing up lap 8. Oh, we got our first pitter, Rick Shear, who was in the back half of the field. Maybe looking to get some clean air. Although I believe he was leading ahead of Rowdy. So he was at the front. He wasn't necessarily chewing up his tires, but
I mean, you can see Rick Shear save 4% more fuel than Cotton Ballista.
yep.
That 5-second lead he has over him. I mean, that'll jump to like 7 or 8. Won't need that much more fuel.
Now, does the 3 liters per second essentially equate to 3%? Like that 4 liters of difference is going to be 1.3 seconds less fuel.
You know, I don't know. I've never worked it out.
You want me to do math?
It sounds good to me.
Let's just say yes.
Alan
It looks like-
agrees, and I would definitely trust Alan. He says 1 liter is 1%.
All right, so for every 3% you can save, that's a whole second.
Yeah.
Out on the track, which for these front runners, they're staying close. We got KP sticking with Mullet here. These top 6 haven't changed positions much, other than those first couple laps. Now they're kind of riding it out. Mr. Casual got ahead of Hovercraft here. Wonder what happened. Hovercraft's now 3 seconds back.
Had to
Heavy
have been a
damage.
penalty.
Could have been a
Yeah.
penalty. Although that penalty would have been a lap or so ago. Number of people pitting now at the end of lap 9. Some of our front runners in Shred and Mullet. Shred was in P3. We'll see if the undercut.
They're going a full 10 laps on those mediums like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if they've done 10 on mediums and coming in, Jorge on Stoff still out there.
You know, and even I say I'm getting 13 laps on the stop. I could probably get a couple more laps out of it, but that's about where it starts balancing out. The stops are becoming slower than the medium lap times.
I mean, in all honesty, he's really 50% on that right front, I would say.
Yeah. Now, granted, your tire wear does speed up as you get past that 50% mark, or at least it does for me.
It does for me too.
Well,
Shout out to C Turbo.
Turbo!
C Turbo with the $19.99 donation. Shout out to TK's for hosting. Thank you, Turbo. We appreciate that. And while we're at it, please remember to like and subscribe to TK's channel here. TK's does a lot of work to put this on. Hosting these broadcasts is not as easy as it looks.
No TK's
Our leader,
mastermind.
Our leader, Jorge, into the pits. Looks like Wid is going to follow suit. Along with KP, everybody coming in, and they're going to split this 10 and 10.
Yeah, and they are not far. They are not that far behind now. That 7 seconds really didn't. 7, 8, 9 seconds really did not look like much on pit.
And we'll see once everybody gets out. Jorge has saved about 3% more fuel than Wid, so that'll give him another second. But KP Wilcox still has 40% fuel left. So
leave a lap.
Rowdy, P2.
Right, so Jorge comes out just ahead of Rowdy.
Oh.
Drops Rowdy back down to P3.
Now hopefully this doesn't make Rowdy a little too aggressive and try and keep up. Jorge's might be on mediums, but he's on fresh mediums. Rowdy's a little beat down here.
Now, they are cold. It will take, I don't know, half a lap for those things to heat up. I mean, Rowdy's tires still look great. I mean, they're practically brand new.
I think I was finding on the mediums, it was like third to fourth lap is when they felt sticky.
Oh, they took that long, huh?
Yeah, it was really weird. And I don't know if that was just the 296. But yeah, the first couple laps I just felt like I was sliding everywhere.
Well, you are getting a lot of tire cooldown time on these straights.
That's true.
All right, so looking at the gaps, it looks like Shred is about 11 seconds behind Jorge. Has 10 laps to try to catch up. Shout out to Duke. The $10 donation.
Duke.
Donation to the beer fund for the commentators. Great job, guys. Thank you, Duke.
Sir.
We appreciate that. Thank you to all those that have donated so far. For everybody else, please remember to hit that like button. That's free, and it helps. Right, the Truth Serum in, along with Rowdy, which should bring Jorge and the rest of the front runners back to the front. We should have a pretty good idea of where this all shakes out. Look at that, Rowdy saved 4% more fuel than the Truth Serum.
Yeah.
He was behind him by a bit, so that's going to close the gap a bit, but not. I don't think it's enough. Shred and Mullet right on each other. Shred and Mullet ahead of Wid. Wid was in P2, lost 2 positions during that round of pit stops.
That's the fuel difference, would be my guess.
Probably. Shred, I believe, is one of our new runners or new drivers in the World Series here. So shout out, he's running P2, having a great first impression. Mullet also his first time in the PHG World Series, although we've all been friends with Mullet for a while.
So good to see him back in the wheel.
Absolutely. Then S7R Wid only 7/10 back, so these guys are keeping it tight. 2, 3, 4, all within a second. A little bit over half done with the race.
The question is, can this group close in at 11 seconds?
Get a little aggressive there, trying to sneak down that inside.
Yeah, I mean, if these three could work together and just stay patient through the twisty bits, bump draft each other on the straights, that might be their golden ticket to catch up to Jorge, who still has a 10+ second lead on, second place here.
Let's see how much they can, if they can hold it together and work together, how much they can pull that in over the next 8 laps.
Yeah, being on soft tires, they should be able to make some gains, but they're not making 2 seconds a lap gains like what Jorge was putting on him on the first few laps.
Well, lap times after this lap, I would look at lap times are really tell the tale.
And Wid with a 150 flat. I mean, that was faster than his qualifying run.
Well, this is definitely one of the tracks. Once you're in the groove, you just start going faster and faster and faster, and until you make that first mistake, and then it just undoes all the progress you've made.
That sounds like my race.
Yeah, Jorge kind of holding it at 10 seconds. Looks like Shred's got at least one fan in the chat. Knows who they are, so they're not a stranger to everything. Good to see. Yeah, him, Mullet, and Wid still all within that draft. I don't see that they've been close enough to bump draft each other, which is what you really need to be able to do to make this work. They've had the slipstream, but haven't been able to do the actual bump draft. Rick Shear back up to P6. He was our first pitter. Rick Shear trying to do the undercut, going to run the most laps on softs. The PHG Raiders still up, sitting in P8 after a P12 start. Mr. Casual sitting in P9 after a P13 start. S7R Hovercraft has caught back up to him. Followed by Cotton Ballistics. About a 5-second gap between him and Hovercraft, and then we got PHG Rowdy, 2.4 back from Cotton Ballistics. Doing his best out there. Sticking with it, which is good to see. Time to Jorge. It's dropped by about 4/10. Ooh, Jorge with a big wiggle there.
A little bit of drift outside of Tokyo.
Yeah, that's going to cost him some time. Oh, Mullet fell back to 5th. KP's now ahead of him. Mullet definitely lost some time there. Not sure if he had an issue. I don't see any damage or a penalty. But he did lose a position.
And KP was like 2 seconds behind Mullet.
Right.
Yeah, this track's one of the, like I was saying, it's one of those tracks where there's really only one good line for the whole thing, and if you deviate from it even a little bit, you're dropping a half a second or better back from the guy in front of you. And it's all about consistency. You just need to stay in that line over and over and over again.
And the Truth Serum still looking to try to catch back up to Rick Shearer. He certainly has him in his sights within 1 second. And continuing to close. And looking at the track map up in the upper right-hand corner, for those that aren't familiar, that red triangle you see in the upper right shows the driver that we're currently looking at. And all the blue triangles or arrows are all the other drivers. So we can see there's a number of like pockets of, pairs of drivers that are sticking together. Rick Shearer and the Truth Serum being one of those pairs. And Rick Shearer was able to keep that lead on the front stretch. Still kind of holding it, even through the S's there. Well, no, the Truth Serum's catching up.
Yeah, he's
Closing that gap.
Little highs. Yeah, he's pulling it out. He's definitely in the zone right now.
Truth Serum's tires are like 3 laps of pressure.
Well, Rick Shearer was our first pitter.
And
he pitted.
Truth Serum was one of the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before he gets by Rick.
Yeah, if he waits till, the last couple laps, he should have more of a tire advantage, or more noticeable tire advantage at that point.
Right.
He's catching.
Then
they're getting to the brakes. Is he going to pull out? He is. He's going for the inside
he's
move.
Gonna take it.
Yep.
Does he get it woed down? He does. Rick gives him plenty of room. Looks like he's going to complete that pass. Beautiful looking pass.
Yeah, I think Rick knows that right now, fighting too hard. He went in a little too early from what he wanted to do. It's not working out the way he wanted, so he's just going to try and conserve as much rubber to make it to the end, but stay as competitive. He doesn't want to drop more positions.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Rick's a smart driver. He knows what's up. And we know DeTruth is fast. Here we got Wid and Shred all over each other. Wid going to go for the move, heading into the first corner. Is Shred going to back out? He is. He's going to.
Yeah, he did.
He's going to play it smart. Just tuck in.
Four more laps to go.
With him. Yeah, a little over 4 laps to go. If he can stick with him to the backstretch, they could leapfrog each other. Let's watch this again. Wid sets this up, coming down the front stretch, gets that overspeed, pulls out, does get the nose ahead before the turn into turn 1. Shred has no choice but to back out on it. Well done. Smart driving by both drivers there.
At this point now, 16 laps in, you really don't want to, fit it into another driver and ruin your entire race.
Bullet with the half-second penalty. Back in 5th, trying to catch up to KP. And the truth pulling away on Rick Shear has extended that beyond the slipstream range. It's now over that 1.3 second gap.
Raider can pull pretty quick on him here. Raiders tires are looking a lot better.
Yeah, we'll see that last time around when the truth made the pass on Rick. Rick went, quite a bit wider going through the small banky boy here. I was assuming he was giving him space, but it might be that he's just not getting it down to the apex. But Jorge is still with an 8.6 second lead. We are 6 seconds, or I'm sorry, 7 laps into the second half of this stint. It's really his race to lose at this point. Shred still staying tucked into with slipstream, hasn't lost him.
Cox, man, he's come up from where did he start? He started 8th, I believe. He's up to 4th, and he's pulling hard on 3rd.
Yeah, he's not quite to that slipstream range, but if he can get caught, I mean, in another lap, he could get, within a second. It could be game on for the last couple laps.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, if Shred stays just close enough, he will pull a gap on this backstretch because he will have the slipstream. Yeah, he's within a half second. But he's going to have more speed than KP. The width's got a little bit of a gap. This is probably going to be enough to hold it for this lap. Yeah, they both get it down to the apex there. Getting those cars wound down at the end of that long stretch can be so tricky. Thankfully, it's a very wide, banky corner there to help save you.
One thing that this 296 does well is it stops. That I will say. It does stop on a dime.
Good, pulling the lead a little bit. He's now got it up to 0.8. But still 8 seconds behind Jorge.
Yeah, I don't see the next 2-3 laps them making up 8 seconds. Unless Jorge just touches grass and ends up somewhere he shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah, like we were saying, I think it's his race to lose at this point. It's just got to be smooth. He has plenty of tire. Like he probably has plenty of fuel. I'm sure all these guys have mapped their fuel just to where they just have what they need.
At this point, it's a little bit of
by the end.
For Jorge, it's a little bit of dark out, wearing sunglasses. We have a half a tank of gas, a pack of cigarette. Ride.
Rick Shear, his tires are about half worn. Raiders isn't that much better. His are also about half worn, but he has caught up to him.
Yeah, that early pit is really starting to take effect on Rick.
Yeah, it got him out a little quicker, but ultimately in these later laps, it's starting to cost him position.
Raider must have pit pretty close, maybe one lap later, because their tire wear is pretty similar. Half a second. This is going to be a fair fight at the end.
Yeah.
Over the banky boy, who could make it stick? Raider gets down to the apex a little further. But Rick gets a slightly better exit. Up and over that little bump.
I has the jacket.
Pulling in on him now. He's got it to 4/10. Battle is on P7.
The exit here coming onto the front stretch is really going to make or break.
Yeah, we've seen Wid a number of times, wag the rear end of his car coming out of that final corner, really trying to, like you said, push for the most speed on the front stretch. If you can nail it, you can definitely put down some time, but if you get that tail end to come out, you can lose all sorts of time.
Right.
And he's right with him.
He is. He's not going anywhere.
Nope. No mistakes yet. He's definitely racing the track. As long as he keeps his eyes off of Rick Shear and not concentrate on Rick's line and stick to his own, he'll reel him in for that
Yeah,
last lap.
Rick's got to be careful not to drive looking in the rearview mirror too much. In a way, you need to pretend he's not there and just put down your laps. He's got a 7/10 lead. They seem to kind of be yo-yoing. Check up with the leaders here. KP, Shred, and Wid all still relatively close. They've kind of been running in this order now for quite some time.
Yeah,
got just a little over a lap to go.
They're pretty spread out. I think this is about where they're going to end up for second, third, and fourth there. Question's going to be right here is if Raider can get by on this last lap. He's definitely got to reel in a little bit closer before he tries to make a move.
Yeah, his strategy probably needs to be he needs to be on him as they get onto the backstretch. Because that's where he's going to need to make the pass and then hold it. Now, granted, the start-finish line is a ways down the front stretch. Somebody could get the draft coming out of the final corner and beat somebody to the line, but you would have to time it absolutely perfect. Right. Yeah, look at their tires. Their tires are 2/3 dead.
I was looking at the fuel.
Yeah, they're probably going to be on fumes at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they should be okay, but if anybody misjudged it, like other people do at Daytona.
Yeah,
you never know.
Listen. As long as I don't end up facing backwards, it's okay. Somebody could have put me across that finish line, Nobody wanted to help out.
Yeah.
Right. These next couple of corners are going to be the most crucial for Raider. He needs to get tucked in as close as he can to this backstretch.
I'm impressed by Rick to really hang on to those used up tires and hold off Raider as much as he has.
Rick had a great exit there.
Yeah, he did.
He was pulling away. I mean, Raiders got the toe now, but
it's not enough.
I don't think it's going to be enough. Rick had a phenomenal exit getting onto the backstretch. Raiders going to dive it in, see if he can make it stick.
Ooh.
These other guys up front still have a bit of a gap, and we got Jorge getting onto the front stretch. Still with a 7.3 second lead. Pulled out a big lead in the beginning, was able to hold it through the end. Congratulations, Jorge, taking the win in split one. We got S7R's Wid going to come across the line in P2. Then we got Shred and KP Wilcox right on his bumper in third and
he was
fourth.
Right there.
Mullet going to finish out in P5th. Not too bad. He did have a couple of penalties in there, but able to pull out a top 5. P6 for the True Serum.
Oh,
Rick and Raider.
Hold on, Rick.
Nose to tail.
Nice.
Across 7th and 8th.
I know that feeling that Raider was having too. Like, just it got a little bit better of an exit. I could have tried.
Mr. Casual coming across in P10. That's an improvement. Got Ballistics in P11. And Rowdy finishing all 20 laps.
You made it, buddy. You made it.
Auto drive. He used auto drive. There's no way. Nice job, everybody.
What a race.
Good. Yeah, right? Good tight finishes at the end.
Tight finishes. We saw some back and forth throughout, and all the passing appeared to be very clean. That's always fun to see.
Right.
All right, Papa, you want to take us through our finishing results?
Absolutely. We got Jorge from the pole to the win. In his 296 Ferrari for P1. Sector 7 Wid coming in at P2, also with the fastest lap of the race, 149.848. Then we have Shred in P3, 2-3 KP Wilcox, P4. Goat Instinct Mullet, P5. Sector 7 to Truth Serum, P6. PHG Rick Shear, P7. PHG Raider, P8. And then in P9 here, we got Sector 7 Hovercraft, followed by Mr. Casual. Then we got in P11 Cotton Ballistics, PHG Rowdy in P12, and a couple unfortunate engine failures in Papa Oso and Rider 15. Outstanding.
Wow, what a race. What a race. I think we got what we were hoping for out of the first split there. Some nice close battles. Uh we should probably go ahead and nominate our driver of the race, Papa. Who do you got for that?
Ooh, driver of the race. Wow. I mean, Jorge, that was a very dominant, as usual, performance. That out took the lead, held on. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Wid. He wasn't able to keep up to Jorge, but he definitely put on his own performance within the strat that everybody else was using. But again, Jorge, yeah, I'm gonna go with Wid.
Solid choice, solid choice. Jersey, who do you got for driver of the race? Oh, you might be muted, Jersey.
I am. Sorry about that.
Oh, there we go.
I was probably coughing along up a second ago. I didn't want to disturb everybody. But I am definitely I had my eye on KP most of the race. He was charging
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah.
I didn't see him really make any mistakes. He came up quite a few spots from where he qualified from. And he was put one more lap and he was another spot up. So honestly, I'm gonna go with KP.
Yep, another solid choice. I think I'll take the easy way out. I'm going to take Jorge with a dominant victory. It's hard to argue with that.
Right.
Once
I agree
again
with that.
shows us that he takes a different strategy than everybody else and makes it work. I want to also give an honorable mention to Raider. Raider made it up a bunch of spots and really was hunting down Rick Shear at the end there. But also a good one. But I'll officially nominate Jorge. And it looks like we have our driver of the race poll up in the chat. So for those of you watching, definitely go ahead and vote for who you think should be the driver of Split 1.
And Rowdy finishing a
Oh,
race.
listen. Can we please? Can we? You know, I want to